When I was in college, I took a course on tree identification, dendrology. And it's a course that is taught in the fall because, let's face it, the easiest way to identify a tree is by its leaves. You've got some leaves on these trees right here, and if you know anything about trees, you know that, yeah, we got a holly out here. Well, we had one day, wind starts blowing and the one guy says, "Oh no, there goes our grades." Because like I said, the easiest way to identify trees is by the leaves. Now, it's winter out here. The majority of trees don't have leaves on them. And if you don't know the bark, it can be very difficult to tell the difference. I'm going to admit that I have been fooled before. Now right here we have a red maple. As you can see, the bark is kind of scaly at the bottom. You go up higher in the tree, the bark is nice and smooth. You come over at this tree, the bark is also kind of scaly at the bottom. You go up and it's smooth. So I was thinking I had a maple. But there are other things that I look for. You look at the leaves on the ground, and there are, well, there's a lot of oak. There are several right under this tree that are red maple. Another thing that I looked at what's called the branching pattern. Maple has what's called opposite branching. This tree has a little branch coming off right here, and I could see on this, all these branches here, for the most part, have the opposite branching pattern. The branches are right across from each other. And there are very few trees that have this branching pattern, what they call mad horse: maple, ash, dogwood, and horse chestnut. I do not know what I looked at in this tree. I could have used binoculars. But looking up at it, I thought that I saw opposite branching. I don't know what I was looking at, but looking at it now, I don't see that. Plus, there's some leaves still on the tree, which as far as I can tell, they're definitely oak. And so yeah, it looks like I tapped an oak tree, and I'm not going to get maple syrup from that. And, oh yeah, I'm seeing a few branches that look like they're opposite. But I'm looking at the leaf litter, and I am not seeing any maple. So like I said, I don't know what I looked at with this tree. Now, if you're not sure, one thing you can do is you can get somebody that knows what they're doing to look at the tree. Just remember, we are not always infallible. I went on a nature walk last late summer, and the naturalist on this walk identified an ash tree as a walnut. I corrected him and pointed out the differences to him. I realized that I was right, so I said, yeah, we do make mistakes. Biggest way to tell the difference if you're not sure, you can see here, let's see if one comes dripping out. Yep, I've got sap coming out of this tree. I'm not going to get that on the oak tree. I'm going to come over here. There's nothing. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to pull this bucket. Now, there are no more maples in this area. If I wanted to tap another maple in the woods here, I'd have to go way far in, and I don't want to do that. What I'm going to do is, there's a Norway maple over that way. It's at the edge of my neighbor's property. They had given me permission to tap that. It's big enough for me to put a second tap in. So I am going to be pulling this and putting that on there. So I hope you learned something from the video. I hope that you get a better year for maple syrup than I do, because it's just been too warm out here. And I will talk to you later.